What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again with another video, and in today's video, as you may or may not be able to tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be giving y'all the 10 most underrated features or mechanics in the entire game of Last Day on Earth. If you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is absolutely free, and you can always change your mind later, so there's really no downside. But with all of that being said, let's just get right into the video. So first underrated thing on the list, I have the convoy event. The event itself is kinda I mean, the rewards there are decent, but the main reward that you'll be looking for is something that isn't guaranteed to spawn, but has a pretty good chance, and that is the severed finger. Basically, if you get the severed finger, what you can do is you can go to Bunker Alpha. There's kind of a hidden kind of room off to the side where you can use the finger to open up a door, which will 100% of the time have a Glock, which is at about 3/4 durability. So basically, every time you get this event, there is a pretty good chance to get a free Glock from it, which will really help you if you're a newer player, or pretty much any stage you are in the game. An easy Glock to get is never something that should be turned down. Number 2 is the free ad box. I've underestimated before how much people will actually not mind watching an ad for a reward, and the free ad box, I feel like, is something that is actually worth it, because you get a chance at a machete, you get a chance at an AK, and then you also get an armor and some other little goodies in there just for taking a couple seconds out of your day watching an ad. Number 3, I feel like, is something that is actually kind of criminally underrated, and that is using the auto button to grind out zones. For yellow or green zones, all you really need to do is just have a couple hatchets and a weapon or two and just go to a zone and hit auto, and that will be the easiest limestone and the easiest pine you will ever get for pretty much just AFK farming. Really just hit auto and then watch Netflix or something. I do recommend paying attention when you actually are auto farming, because the one thing auto does not do is it will not auto heal. So if your health does get low enough, then you will need to heal it yourself. So kind of still do be paying attention, but you really only have to half focus on the zone that you are grinding. Next feature is something that is kind of known, and it is actually something that I had asked the devs to add, and one of my 10 things I want to be added in LDOE videos about a year and a half ago, and that is the save and auto apply mod options. Basically, the way this works is if you have a weapon mod crafted, then you can put it on a weapon and save it. So basically, anytime you take, say, an M16 to the weapon bench, you can save the mods on it, and then you bring another M16, just push a simple button, and all the mods you have pre-saved will go on to it. This just makes modding weapons so much faster, especially compared to how it was before, where you'd have to tap every single individual weapon and select the mods for each weapon. It's just so much faster with the auto apply. Another underrated feature are the dog's perks. Obviously, when you mention dog perks, everyone's mind instantly goes to True Friend, because that is the best one, but there's also gold and even gray mods that are pretty good. I definitely recommend having all 3 slots and your base filled with the dog perks, because no matter what it is, no matter where you are in the game, it will help you to some extent. Even if it's not the greatest, it'll still have a way of helping you out. Obviously, once you get further into the game, you'll have better dog perks that you can use, but regardless of where you are, there is a dog perk that'll help you out. Next thing that I feel like is kind of underrated are the gray mods for the M16. Obviously, everyone thinks that the best mods for a weapon are the purple mods, and that is not necessarily the case, especially not for the M16, because personally, my M16 build is all just gray mods, no purple mods, apart from the silencer when I'm raiding, and no blue mod. The M16 is the weapon that I highly recommend being the first one you mod, because it'll probably be the weapon you get the blueprints to mod first, and it is pretty cheap to craft those mods. So if you have the mods for the M16, the gray mods, then definitely something that's worth investing into. Next up is a feature that honestly kind of took me a while to remember it's in the game, because it's really not done that much, but it sucks because it is very underrated, and that is the port deliveries. Not only are you building reputation to get a sunken box, which has good loot itself on top of the loot that you can use to put into a boat, but it also, from the deliveries itself, you can get some really good rewards. You can get armor, you can get weapons, you can get healing items. I think it is also possible, very rare, but it is possible to get rewards like an ATV transmission out of this. Like I said, that is very rare, but with how easy it is to do a port delivery, it's definitely something that players should do more, but I feel like they really just don't do enough. Next up is kind of a 2-for-1. It is the 2 most, I feel like, underrated weapons in the game, and that is the Minigun and the Colt. The minigun is good because you can fire so many bullets so fast without missing a single one. Only downside is it takes some time to cool down. And then the Colt, I feel like they are relatively easy to get. It's overlooked because it has a pretty slow fire rate, but with slower zombies, a Colt is perfect for them because you don't have to waste a weapon like an M16 or a Glock, and you just pull out the Colt, take out the easier zombies that you don't want to get close to, like say the Frenzied Giants at Bunker Alpha. Plus, I feel like the mechanic of the Colt and the style of the Colt just fits the zombie aesthetic best out of probably any of the other weapons in the entire game. Those two are definitely very, very criminally underrated weapons that just aren't talked about enough. Next thing is something that I feel like was overshadowed because when it was added into the game, there were other stuff added into the game that were honestly better than it, and that was in Season 3 way back when they added the bunker and the ATV. They also added fishing. If you don't know, you can take the fish and you can craft them, and I don't remember what the bench is called, but you can take fish to craft recipes, which will give you a buff depending on what fish and other things you put in. Some of these buffs can be really useful, like making less noise at raids, having a higher chance at a true friend dog, getting more wood when you're farming wood. Plus, I don't remember exactly when they added it, but they also added a pier location where if you get enough fish, like 20 of fish A, 20 of fish B, and 15 of fish C, then you can trade them at the fisherman at the pier location to get a pretty good reward like a steel bar or a C4. So pretty much anytime this location resets, I highly recommend going there, getting some fish, building a stockpile, and if you don't have fish for a perk that you are wanting to use, then you can take those fish and give them to the fisherman to get a reward that you will definitely want. And then the last thing on the list is probably the most underrated location in the entire game, and that is floor 4 of Bunker Alpha. A lot of people underlook this location because there's not a lot of zombies there that give tickets. Mainly when you're grinding Bunker Alpha, you're looking for green, yellow, or red tickets, and those really aren't found that much in floor 4. But something floor 4 does have is it has a very good chance at getting steel. You can get like 1 to 3 steel per run. And on top of that, you can also get 1 to 3 or 4 grenades every single run. I think you're guaranteed at least 1 grenade every single time you do the 4th floor of Bunker Alpha. Grenades are so useful, and honestly, if you ask me, I think floor 4 is the best place to get them, because realistically, floor 4, if you know what you're doing, isn't necessarily hard, but I still feel like floor 4 is pretty underrated. And that is the video, guys. Again, if you did enjoy, please be sure to subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. Also, if you guys ever have any questions about the game, you can leave them in the comments down below. I will answer every single question to the very best of my ability. Also, in the description will be a link to the Discord. I've mentioned so many times in videos before that I will start holding events there, and I actually finally have an event planned out. I'll probably announce it officially in the next video, and then in the Discord sometime next week. And this event will actually have a prize. So if you're someone who likes prizes, which should be all of you, I would highly recommend joining the Discord. But that's pretty much going to be all for this video. I hope to see each and every single one of y'all in the next video. That is all for me. I am out. Peace.